always forget to film an intro, so I'm going to give it a shot here. Originally I had thought, or had planned to go ahead and just start getting this thing ready to go as if everything was good to go, you know, get the steering rack, steering shaft all hooked back up, coolant, radiator, get all the brakes plumbed back, etc. Basically just get it ready to go as if everything's okay, but technically I don't know anything about this motor. I don't know if it knocks, I don't know if it smokes, I don't even know if it runs. Supposedly it did from the junkyard, but technically I don't know any of those things. So I think instead I'm going to kind of start just getting this thing ready to run and ignore all the other stuff just in case the motor has to come back out. I've got to do this all over again, so I'm going to kind of focus on that. Last night I ordered all my battery cables and everything to start getting starter and alternator, main power, all that stuff wired, and then get the Holley harness installed on the engine, and then go ahead and start on all of my interior wiring as well, as far as the power and push to start and ignition, all that kind of stuff in there, and just kind of get all that set up. So that's kind of the game plan now, just to kind of make sure I'm not redoing a bunch of work. I think I'm going to focus on just getting the car wired and the motor running first, to make sure I can move forward on all the other stuff. So that's the plan for now. Alright, here is the Holley setup I bought for the car. I ended up going with the Terminator Max X, or X Max, whatever it's called, was the system I went with. Essentially it was their top of the line system, to be able to do everything I wanted to do in the future. This is the main harness here for the motor with all the connectors. They're all labeled, where everything goes, what each connector is all individually labeled, so that's going to be super nice. Got relays built in, that sort of thing. I think this is the actual main power harness for the ECU itself. The X Max comes with the little 3.5-inch screen to do all your setup and programming and that sort of thing via that. Not sure what this is. I think this is a wiring harness. So the digital dash has some basically digital switches built in that you can use to turn on things like fans, lights, whatever you want, and you can use these for low amperage outputs, and can even program them. So if once the Holley detects, you know, a certain water temperature, you can have an output set up to automatically turn on fans, things like that, or you can just use them as simple digital switches on the screen and just, you know, flip the switch on the screen and turn things on and off manually as well. Wideband 02 just runs on a single bank, just monitors one side and kind of does everything from that. This is the ECU inside of here. This was a little add-on deal that I bought. This is the harness to do the drive-by-wire, so basically electronic pedal and throttle body. And I got this because I would like to eventually do auto blip on the car, but I'm not going to run this the first time. I'm going to keep the manual cable, throttle, pedal, and throttle body that's in the car now, just to make my life easier the first time around. So maybe in the future. And then also one of the other reasons I went with the Holley setup was trying to figure out a dash and a gauges solution. And again, Holley just makes that super easy. So I bought their 7-inch digital dash. So it'll plug right into the Holley and display everything I need, from, you know, tack to water temps, all that kind of stuff, right there. So it was just the easiest way to go to get everything up and running. You can, you know, program it, tune it yourself, that sort of thing. So anyway, that's the Holley setup, and that's kind of where we're headed now. Alright, it's go time. Time to start plugging stuff in. Crank position sensor. Cam sensor. oil pressure sensor, NOx sensors, map sensor, odd coil pack, coolant temp sensor, throttle position sensor, idle air control, air temp sensor, even coil packs, injector harness, odd injectors, even injectors, attempt to update the software in the handheld and in the actual ECU itself. I've already downloaded the software onto here. It says just put it in to the handheld, turn on the key, and it should download the handheld, which it's doing now, to the handheld itself.
Alright, it says to remove the SD card to reboot the device. We'll pull that out, put the SD card back in. Alright, and then to upgrade the ECU over there, it still says syncing here. Maybe if I should cycle power or not. Let's try it without. It says go to File, click here, click this. And this is for the actual ECU software. It's probably not needed, but I was hoping maybe they updated some of the self-learning software or something might be a little better, so I thought I'd download the newest. Okay, looks like we're done. Let's cycle power just to see what happens here. Alright, we're back to square one. Should be good to go. Alright, I'm going to attempt to update the firmware in the dash now. I've got the firmware off the website onto a USB stick. It says to just plug it into one of the ports here for the dash. Figure out which way it goes. There we go. And then it said it should, when I boot it up, it should go ahead and load the new firmware for the dash. Let's see here. I didn't see anything. It says go to menu, configuration, about. Okay, so this is still the old. This is still the old version. So it says go to update firmware. Okay. Okay, let's see. New configuration about. And this is still showing the old version. Attempt to set up the calibration wizard for the first time, so we'll turn on power. Hopefully the glares aren't too bad. Wants a TPS auto set. Go to the wizards, TPS auto set, ignition's on, engine not started. Slowly press the pedal to the floor twice. Next, successful. I'm going to attempt to run through the setup wizard for the initial tune. We're going to do multi-port fuel injection, GMLS, 8 cylinders, stock firing order. We're going to do cubic inches in liters. 5.3. Target idle speed, we're going to shoot for 700. Start with camshaft specs. We've got the baby stock cam, so we're going to choose below 235 duration. 24 tooth reluctor wheel. 60 psi fuel pressure. They don't have my injectors in this OEM list here, so I'm actually going to choose just the Holley 36-pound injectors to match my 36-pound injectors that I've got in there, and we'll see how that works. Power adders, none. Map sensor, I've got the internal 1-bar. Drive-by-wire, not right now. Idle air control, GM. Transmission control, no. We're manual. And that looks like the tune it's chosen to fit our parameters. Hit start. It's uploading the tune. Please cycle the ignition to complete the operation. Okay. Oh, I hear fuel pump. Sound like some air in the fuel lines there. So it looks like we're up and going here. All right, here we go. The first attempt to start it for the first time. Fuel pump kicking on. I primed it for oil pressure last night. All right, here we go. First attempt. Yes! First try! Yeah! All right, it's running. Oil pressure's holding at 30. Idling about 1,000. Headers are burning off. Here. It runs!